Alright, in this video I'm going to be testing the speed of throwing while staying in a power pocket position the whole time from the start to the coil and then throwing like that, comparing a shallow pocket setup to a deep pocket setup. I have a recent video related to this of where I turned this into a drill, the power pocket only shadow swing. I'll link in the description below if you want to understand a little bit more how it's possible that I threw 400 feet with this technique, and why it's not rounding, even though it might look like it's rounding. Then watch that video. I explain that more in detail. Here I'm comparing the speed difference between these. Now already off the bat, I'm thinking if the shallow pocket outperforms the deep pocket, doesn't necessarily mean it's better or more powerful, because one difference is you can start in a shallow pocket and get some depth during the swing, whereas if you start already deep, you're kind of skipping that transition of going deeper during the swing. But I'm still interested to see the difference here. And when I'm doing the shallow pocket, where I'm starting with my shoulder at 90 degrees here and trying to keep it there during the reach back, during the pull through, I'm not directly thinking about trying to get as deep as I can, but I may end up getting a little bit deeper than 90 during the swing just naturally, as part of my normal throw. In the past, when I've tried in my normal throw, going really deep directly, it's almost never resulted in top speeds for me. So this will be interesting, where I'm already skipping to the deep position and seeing how it compares to not skipping to it, and seeing how it compares to starting out in a less deep position. I think other things I've focused on have helped me get deeper in the pocket naturally, compared to directly thinking about it, such as some of the scapular protraction stuff I've made videos on, which I'll link in the description below as well. I'm also going to be doing these all as a one step, just to make it a little bit easier to be consistent, and alternating between the two, so that I'm not getting more tired from one to the other. Alright, so far seems like the shallow pocket is winning. I haven't put all the stats together yet, so I'll do that and put it on the screen. But as I said at the start, one theory is starting deep is missing out on the benefit of moving towards the deeper side. Also, interestingly, my nose angle is more nose up than it's ever been in a long time. I tried to avoid trying to mess with it too much. Definitely just like a timing thing. I'm used to my nose down muscle memory. Timing feels harder because I'm used to going, from reach back to pocket to then nose down muscle memory kicks in on the way out of the pocket. Whereas here, it's just like I'm in the pocket already so fast it feels that my muscle memory doesn't kick in at the right time. It's too slow to kick in. But yeah, I'm sure I could get nose down if I really focused on it. I just didn't want to. In fact, let me try one where I really try to get it nose down and see if I can, just for fun. So let's see, I'm going to start it a little bit more briefcase actually, and focus on it coming out of the briefcase. Okay, so yeah, it's not that much harder to get it nose down compared to normal throw. I just Had to focus a little bit more on it. I didn't want to do that in the middle of the test though and maybe mess some things up. But I'm going to throw a few now where I start with the disc. For me, shallow pocket, 90-degree shoulder angle, the disc is near the left pec. Deep pocket, as defined by a wider shoulder angle, with my arm length, makes the disc more towards the right pec. Different forearm lengths may put the disc in slightly different positions, even with the same shoulder angle. But I'm going to try a couple where I have the disc in between, in the middle, and see if maybe that has any impact. I'm starting a little bit deeper, but I still have room to move deeper, dynamically during the swing. Oh shit, that's a speed PR, I think, for this session. I wasn't going to do that many of these, but now I want to see if it's a fluke or not. It felt like it could have just been I was rotating harder. It just kind of felt like that. Like my follow through too just felt like I had more rotational momentum left over than some of the other throws. So I'll do like 3 or 4 more of these just to see if I can repeat it. If I can repeat that speed or consistently get a little bit close to it, then I'll think there's a decent chance that this one is performing the best. Okay, well, that's interesting. Very next throw repeated that speed. It is possible that I'm getting better at throwing just in general with this power pocket only style as the session is going on. I haven't done lots of practice with it before, only for that previous video I mentioned, the power pocket only shadow swing drill video. That was the only other time I really fully threw with it. So it still feels kind of weird and probably always will. And when I warmed up before doing those throws, I did not warm up doing this swing style, the power pocket only swing. So it is possible, I only did 10 throws of the other, or maybe 12 or something like that. It is possible I'm just getting more used to it as the session's going on, and throwing harder. Oh man, the way to test that is go back and try some of the other ones and see if I'm getting faster speeds, but that just means I'm throwing more and more and more, and this is how it goes. I will go back to the other 2 after I do a couple more of the middle depth throws, just to see if I get a higher, a close to a PR on those ones. But then it's like, oh, I've already done these other throws and now I'm getting more tired. So testing things is hard. Knowing what's actually changing things is hard. But that's why retesting would be ideal. But if I retest everything a bunch of times, I don't have time to test other stuff. And then I just am throwing so many throws and never resting enough. All right, I'm just going to do one more throw of the shallow and the deep just to see if my speed is better now, later in the session, compared to earlier, just to see if maybe that was a factor with the middle depth being better speed. Well, shit. That was a bit of a grip lock. So it means I gotta do it again. Do one more of those, at least. Just to see if I can get close to 63 without it being a grip lock. All right, now 2 more from the deep setup position to see if my speed's higher now at the end of the session.